Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking what might honestly be the ultimate David versus Goliath story of the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup. We are talking about a plucky, gritty band of scattered talent hailing from a totally rugby-mad nation at the edge of the world, getting ready to step onto global sport's absolute biggest stage. This is the story of New Zealand's men's national football team and exactly how they plan to shock the world over in North America.
Now, to really grasp the sheer scale of the mountain they've got to climb, just look at this number, 85. That is New Zealand's current FIFA World Ranking. Let that sink in. When they step onto the pitch, they will literally be the absolute lowest-ranked team walking into this massive, unprecedented 48-team tournament. They are stepping right into a den of lions. But you know, as we're going to see, being the underdog is exactly where this team is most comfortable.
So here's our roadmap for today. We'll hit 1. Return of the underdogs. 2. Chasing the 2010 miracle. 3. The blueprint for survival. 4. Stars, strengths, and weaknesses. 5. Group G, the Giants. And finally, 6. The tournament outlook.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, Return of the Underdogs.
So New Zealand is officially back on the global stage after a grueling 16-year absence. And first off, let's just establish their identity. They're universally known as the All Whites, which is a nickname coming from their traditional all-white kits. And yeah, it directly echoes the iconic branding of New Zealand's dominant rugby team, the All Blacks. Now here's a fun fact. While football is actually the largest participation sport at the grassroots level over in Aotearoa, it's basically perpetually overshadowed by rugby and cricket. It is only during a World Cup that football truly explodes into the mainstream spotlight. So making this qualification, it's a massive cultural moment for them. If you love a pure grassroots underdog story, this is absolutely your team.
And you know, their path getting here is pretty uniquely significant. The 2026 expansion to 48 teams totally changed the game structurally for the Oceania Football Confederation. For the first time ever, the OFC got a direct automatic qualification slot. This meant New Zealand finally got to bypass those dreaded single-elimination intercontinental playoffs against much stronger federations, the same playoffs that have haunted them for years, and they capitalized on it brilliantly. They completely dominated their region, scoring 7 goals against Fiji in the semifinal, and then cruising past New Caledonia 3-0 to seal their ticket.
Moving right along to Section 2, Chasing the 2010 Miracle.
To really feel the emotional stakes of this 2026 campaign, we have to take a quick look back at their legendary past. This timeline kind of lays out their whole underdog history. They debuted back in 1982 in Spain with a heavily British-born squad. But then, there's the defining chapter, 2010 in South Africa. The All Whites drew against Slovakia, they held the defending champions Italy to a 1-1 draw, and they tied Paraguay. Think about that for a second. They were the only unbeaten team in the entire 2010 World Cup. No way, right? But after that incredible high, they had to endure painful playoff losses in 2014, 2018, and 2022 against powerhouses like Mexico, Peru, and Costa Rica. Now, in 2026, they're back, proving that pulling off the impossible is basically baked right into their DNA.
You can really feel the heavy weight of those painful playoff years in this powerful quote from their veteran 35-year-old winger, Costa Barbarossas. He actually scored in the final qualifier, and he said, "This is my 5th attempt to get to a World Cup, so I'm really sort of emotional, very happy, and sort of had flashbacks of the last 15 years." I mean, that just perfectly humanizes this squad, doesn't it? It shows us exactly how much this qualification means to them after a decade and a half of pure heartbreak.
Okay, Section 3, the blueprint for survival. Let's look at their tactical setup. So, how exactly do they plan to survive against the world's absolute best? Well, head coach Darren Baisley, who's a former English pro who has spent years building up New Zealand's youth pipelines, has crafted a highly rehearsed tactical setup. Defensively, they use a super pragmatic, compact mid-block, usually a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. They purposefully just cede territory in the middle of the pitch. They pack the defensive third to totally deny space and force their opponents out wide. On the flip side, their attacking strategy is highly physical and very direct. They rely heavily on vertical play, using the wings to whip crosses into the box, and they possess a systematic, honestly almost fatal reliance on set pieces to score.
And the whole system is really held together by Baisley's core coaching philosophy. Because he's actually coached many of these exact players since they were teenagers in the under-17s and under-20s, he's built this incredible environment of shared leadership and real mental toughness. Plus, he seamlessly blends players who are competing over in Europe with domestic A-League talent.
The end result? It's a highly cohesive, incredibly hard to break down unit, where every single player knows their exact role, even when they're facing teams that have vastly superior technical skills.
Which brings us to Section 4, Stars, Strengths, and Weaknesses.
Let's look at the arsenal and the Achilles heel of this World Cup roster. And to do that, we absolutely have to anchor this entire narrative around one man, Captain Chris Wood. The 34-year-old Nottingham Forest striker is New Zealand's all-time record scorer with 45 goals. He is fully fit after returning from knee surgery, and he is the total focal point of their entire offensive game plan. I mean, he scored 9 goals in the qualifiers alone. His traditional English-style aerial dominance, his massive physical presence in the penalty area, and his ability to hold up the ball make him, without a doubt, their single most dangerous weapon.
But what's really interesting here is the supporting cast right behind him. Baisley has a solid core of elite European-based talent. You've got 23-year-old Tyler Bindon, a brilliant defender who's also at Nottingham Forest. There's Liberato Cacace, a super dynamic 25-year-old left-back playing at Wrexham. Marko Stamenic, a 24-year-old midfielder with actual Champions League experience who is now at Swansea City, and forward Eli Just over at Motherwell. These guys provide the essential technical standard that's required to complement the gritty local league rotational options they have waiting on the bench.
Actually, let's be real for a second and address their fatal flaws, their Achilles heel. There is an extreme over-reliance on Chris Wood. If he gets marked out of the game, injured or suspended, their goal threat is dramatically reduced. Bam, just like that. Furthermore, they have a very noticeable lack of creative midfield depth to break down opponents in open play. And frankly, we can't ignore it. The massive jump in opponent quality from playing in Oceania to stepping onto the World Cup stage is a frankly enormous hurdle.
Speaking of hurdles, let's jump into Section 5, Group G, the Giants.
To see just how big that hurdle really is, we have to take a comparative look at the absolute giants they've got to slay in North America just to survive. When you actually stack these numbers up side by side on this table, it really hammers home the crazy steep mountain New Zealand has to climb. You've got Belgium sitting way up at 9th in the world as a major European power. Iran is at 21st, proving to be an incredibly experienced Asian qualifier. Egypt sits at 29th, a massive African power. And then, way down at 85th, the oceanic underdog, New Zealand.
And the individual mismatches out there on the field are going to be super stark. We are literally talking about elite global superstars facing off against gritty defenders. Just picture this. Egypt fielding a world-class attacker like Mo Salah, and he's running full speed directly at a New Zealand defensive line made up of a mix of MLS players, non-league English veterans, and domestic A-League talent. It's wild. Belgium, too, even while they're in transition, presents a terrifying level of technical superiority and depth that New Zealand simply cannot match on paper.
And there is also an element of geopolitical fluidity we have to consider here for a complete picture. According to reports from the sources we're looking at today, following significant military events, Iran's participation carries some asterisks. While FIFA President Gianni Infantino has publicly stated there is currently no plan B for the group, the situation remains pretty fluid. We are just impartially reporting the facts here. Any withdrawal or replacement of Iran would obviously completely alter the mathematical calculus for advancing in Group G.
Finally, Section 6, the Tournament Outlook.
So, taking all of this into account, let's look at a realistic conclusion for the All-Whites' chances. The absolutely crucial point is this number right here, 8. In this newly expanded 48-team format, 8 of the 12 third-place teams in the group stages will actually advance to the knockout rounds. This is a massive, massive structural advantage for underdogs like them. It means that just a single positive result, like a single draw or a crazy upset, combined with some good goal difference management, could legitimately be enough to see New Zealand survive the group.
And that makes the defining fixture for this entire master plan, their opening match on June 16th against Iran at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. This is exactly where their dark horse banana skin potential has to be realized. If they can go in there and execute a highly controlled defensive game plan and maybe capitalize on a sneaky set piece headed in by Chris Wood, well, that is absolutely their most realistic path to putting crucial points on the board.
Which leaves us with this final, lingering question today. Can Lightning strike twice for the All-Whites? They are massive underdogs for sure, and the rankings 100% confirm it. But if Lightning does strike twice, if this scattered band of talent can pull off another 2010 miracle against all mathematical odds, could a moment like that permanently shift the sporting landscape of an entirely rugby-obsessed nation forever? Keep your eyes closely on Group G. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and enjoy the tournament.